Vic and Jim and Dan and Mike were like teenagers. Mike was a bigger presence in their lives than I ever knew. They bring Mike up enough that he seems real to them, that he still seems real to them.
People looked out for him because they knew he had the diabetes, because he honestly did not take very good care of himself. There'd have been ambulance coming into the club, you know, the country club.
You know, you get to a point that when you hear the ambulance coming and something like that, you pretty much know it's Mike Ali.
He really enjoyed the feeling of having an insulin reaction because it's like you're on drugs, you're high.
I felt at times he actually used the insulin as a device to help in his depression. I know he was depressed because of having to deal with the diabetes, his divorce.
My dad always believed that from the time he was 40 that his time was running out. He was going to die because he had this disease. Maybe because of the fear, he actually was more reckless than he should have been, certainly as he got older. He grew a little lost along the way. He got lost.
Mackie's someplace up there smiling down and they're watching them carrying his ashes around.
I think they went on this trip because they feared death. I think it was an opportunity for them to think about immortality, about, you know, can we have the longest ever life? Mike represents what they're facing. Mike represents what's ahead for them. The guy in the box is going to be all of us one of these days.
This is a story of four buddies who drive to the Arctic Circle to play golf. One of them is dead.
Their trip takes them 5,500 miles, crossing 7 U.S. states.
2 Canadian provinces and 2 Canadian territories.
It's the adventure of a lifetime.
This is a journey of friendship, loss, discovery, and legacy.
This is our longest drive.
Welcome to Westmoreland Country Club. Jim, Dan, Mike, and I played golf here every Saturday for over 20 years. When Mike died a couple years ago, I thought those matches were over, but I was wrong.
Golf is an amazing game where you learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about the other guy. It's an incredible game in terms of the way it connects people and how bonding it is.
The game of golf it's just intriguing and one of the most difficult exercises you can ever go through.
It's a challenge. It's a personal engagement. It's an intoxication that you have to keep playing over and again because you can never beat it. I was in the hospital convalescing from open-heart surgery. With Mike's recent passing, I realized that we were on the back nine of our lives. So I pitched Jim and Dan on the idea of driving to the Arctic Circle to play golf with Mike one more time.
I thought he had a screw loose. Unbelievable. The guy can't change a light bulb, and yet he wants to drive 5,500 miles to the Arctic Circle.
So we got 4 guys taking off in an RV to the Arctic Circle, but we're not in the best of health. I was lucky. I haven't had anything seriously wrong with me yet. Dan had been really sick about a year ago, near death, and Vic had open heart surgery, and Mike was dead. So it's not exactly your all-American adventure team going to the Arctic Circle, but there we were anyway.
It was much more than just a trip or an adventure. It was a way for us to connect with a game we love and with each other.
Victor.
Hey, Dan.
How are you? Good to see you.
Great to see you, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, you look lovely. As usual. Hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
Well, what about me? Don't I get a
You look a little sweaty.
I know I am.
Makes me nervous.
Well,
They call Jim Mr. Automatic. He drives every ball straight down the fairway,
Bing, 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 down the middle every time.
never going to the right or never going to the left. That'll tell you something about his life. Let's go.
Victor, gee, he's a crazy golfer. You know, he'll do just about anything to get the ball in the hole.
Vic putts about everything. Anything inside of 60 yards, he will putt.
He'll putt out of a sand trap. Even with a lip on it, he'll try and putt out sometimes if he thinks he's got a better opportunity than using a sand iron.
Get him!
And I'm a horrible putter. Actually, we're all pretty horrible putters.
Oh! He's full of crap. I'm the best putter.
Like that? Hey,
I'm gonna listen to him. Dan hits every drive to the right, and he likes it that way. He won't correct that. That'll tell you something about his politics.
Good ball.
He's married to a woman who always keeps her eye on him. They live in the woods, and that's why he calls himself Woodsy. Have you known anyone who's ever given himself his own nickname? Dan has.
well, people ask me why I decided to go on this trip. It kind of fit in with the profile of my life and things that I like to do, and I knew these guys couldn't do it alone. No way. You know, Victor, it's just...
Silence, please.
Okay,
Quiet.
right. Genius at work.
Victor's developed this goofy swing in his older years that is kind of a crossover. It's kind of this.
I think it's kind of disturbing, actually. I don't like to watch it at all. Fact of the matter is, Vic and Dan and I are all crappy golfers. We're all crappy in our own way, though. My particular problem is in the sand. I can turn an 85 into a 94 very easily, right here. Mr. Sandman, way to go. Nice shot. This is the 7th hole at Westmoreland Country Club, 340-yard par 4, notable for two things. First of all, the world's largest dental mirror, and second of all, somewhere in that fairway, Mike Allen would invariably break down.
To explain how dichotomous his behavior became, he realized his insulin was getting low and he'd order an orange juice. But at the same time, he'd buy a cigar. One thing that would save him and the other that would kill him. Jim has some problems physically too. He can't hear. And you never know whether he's not
That's good.
hearing what you're saying or not getting what you're saying, because he's a bit of a philosopher.
I got out of the advertising business about 8 years ago. When I got out, I decided maybe it'd be a good idea to let go a little bit, try not to control things so much. So when Vic came up with this idea, I realized it was a test to me. I said, do you mean this? You want to let go? Here we are in the sunset of our lives. On the 15th hole, the middle of the back nine. How many more metaphors do you want?
I don't know. 3 holes to go, guys.
15th hole. It's the only hole in the world, as far as we know, that lays out across 3 cities. Wilmette, Evanston, that's right on the money, and Skokie. It's in the Guinness Book of Records. It's something you tell your guests.
It's a little tidbit, you know?
Say, now how do you feel? They go, well, that's cool.
Well,
and then
that's
they
cool,
just
you
keep
know,
going.
whatever.
You know?
Yeah, well, away we go.
I knew Mike was sick. We all knew Mike was sick, and he was living on borrowed time. But when Vic called me on a Sunday morning and said, he's dead, just those 2 words went through me like a knife. It hurt because I knew instantly that there was something that was no more.
When Mike passed away, he was a pretty lonely guy, with the exception of the friendship and bonds with the fellas here at Westmoreland. He's obviously separated and divorced from his wife. His children live far away.
At the end of his life, this is all he really had. His friends and the game of golf and Saturday mornings and 19th hole after the game.
It was golf that brought the 4 of us together, and Westmoreland was the venue where that golf was played. So it seemed to be the only place we'd want to say goodbye to one of us.
We gathered a bunch of guys who took golf trips with us, and Mike. Went on the 7th tee, where Mike usually had his swoon.
And then 7 of us teed up and hit a 7-drive salute to the sounds of a bagpiper who had just come over the rise in the background.
And we did leave an 8th ball there. It really was kind of a symbol of Mike and his life and our friendship with him.
It symbolized our closeness to him and maybe our closeness for each other because he was the first to go. Since Mike died, things sort of fell apart in terms of our regular game. It's almost as if a linchpin was pulled without us ever knowing it. So our longest drive kind of gave us a reason to get back together again, purposefully, as a place to go. We said we took Mike on our drive, not to honor him in any way, but because we just wanted to have him along. He's one of the guys, and we'd miss him. And that's true.
Great time.
But I think in each of our minds there's something more than that. It wouldn't be right to have gone without him. He had to be there. He was part of us.
It was a living metaphor for where we were in our life. It was traveling 5,500 miles to where the road ends, to a place where you could play golf in the endless light at midnight of the longest day. So we had to do it. At long last, it's the day before our departure. And because I've worked in the perfume, liquor, and gambling businesses, naturally, I'm in charge of the farewell party. Dan's an anal accountant. He puts creases in his jeans, so he takes charge of the RV inspection.
Our trip, which is equivalent to a distance of Chicago to Hawaii, takes us some 5,500 miles spread over 17 10 to 12-hour days. The road ends at Inuvik, our final destination in Canada's Northwest Territories. The last 500 miles is a spectacular but dreaded Dempster, a rock highway where vehicles go to die.
This is our maid's voice. Nobody's turned the key on this damn thing yet.
We have contact.
I don't know why we're going to this place. All I know about Inuvik is Vic's hype of it and what's on the internet. In the summer, the sun doesn't set for 56 days. And if you travel due east of Inuvik, you won't find another paved road until you reach Europe. There are 3,500 people there, and it has a 3-hole golf course. That just might be the only course in the world where the 3 of us will ever be able to shoot par.
Great. Pleasure.
Victor! Hey, am I close enough?
Yeah, you're close enough. This idea has developed beyond our wildest dreams. Our longest drive has given us a reason to experience new things.
Thanks for your support.
Oh, come on.
We've raised money on the internet, launched a website, are writing blogs to tell the world who we are. We even hired a camera crew to follow us along. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., carefree and energized, we'll set off on the adventure of a lifetime. I'm ready.
Well, the big day is finally upon us, and as I figured, we've got organizational chaos. Vic's still packing, the women are now making us lunch, and we should have left hours ago. We have liftoff.
One small step, etc.
Downtown, our camera crew creates further delay, and the carelessly attached Arctic Circle or bus sign is already gone. And the Wonder Boys in the back seat don't have a clue what they're in for. As always, I've got to keep this thing together.
Do you know how to draw a polar bear?
No.
How about a maple leaf? Do you know how to draw a maple leaf?
I can draw fruit.
We should have gone back to look for the sign.
Let's just hope it didn't fly off and hit someone and cause an accident. Despite a year of planning, our golf date with the summer solstice is already at risk. If these delays repeat themselves, we could miss our tee time by days. But hey, at least we're finally off. First stop, Austin, Minnesota. All right, today's trip is 367 miles.
How far have we gone?
1.4.
All right.
Oh my God. I bet you there's something loose in there, like pots and pans or something. I don't know, guys. It's awful noisy.
It's part of the
Part of the ambiance, I understand, yeah. Can you imagine this?
what?
17 days of this?
No. I should have brought meditation tapes. Here's how you
Yeah.
practice. Think of nothing and try to think of nothing for 10 seconds.
It works for 2 seconds.
Right. And then so you do it again for about 100,000 occasions.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yes, it's hard, but you're going to be good at this, or you're going to die on this trip.
I need a spa.
I'm not going to give you a back rub. Jesus.
Sorry about that.
Well, I can't do my sign. I can't meditate. I probably...
Did you think
I
about
write.
any of this like a year ago?
No.
So you weren't able to put
Hey, you
yourself
know,
in this situation.
Dan told me this is going to be like we can sit here and I can blog and
Have
do
a
my
cocktail.
writing and yeah. Can't do that here. It's...
You really got to get hold of yourself. Your head's getting bigger.
I can't.
You're swelling.
I can't get bigger. It's getting redder. I know that.
All right, we've done our first 60 miles. How does that make you feel?
Oh, great. Really great.
That's about 190.
Yeah.
So you just do this
195th.
90 times and we're there.
We're only 45 minutes into day one of our longest drive, and Vic is already demanding a bathroom break. Our pit stop is Rockford, Illinois, which is bittersweet as it was Mike's hometown. With Vic refusing to use the RV's toilet, I can now add his bladder to the list of things slowing us down.
All right, how do you do this?
It is nice to stop, but you know, he's getting bug-eyed.
just never got it. What's he bitching about?
He said, "This isn't what I thought." I think there's a chance he'll blow up and say, "I can't do this."
Dan, did you buy vegetable juice?
Isn't that tomato juice?
No. This is going to be an invention. A bloody veggie. You know, maybe I'll call it the Bloody Victor.
Bloody, yeah.
There you go.
It's milder. Want to taste it? You get more carrot to it.
Put more vodka in there.
They don't get you by the rental fees, they get you by the repairs.
Yeah.
I'm striking the right keys at about a rate of, I don't know, 40 to 50%. But that bloody veggie that I just drank is probably not helping the process. Some of the great writers used to drink a lot. I'm not saying I'm one of the great writers, but I do drink a little. This RV is a gas-powered milkshake, and the bouncing around makes it almost impossible to blog. To top it off, our website goes down after 3 months of uninterrupted service. Jim, Dan, Mike, and I have been on a lot of great golf trips. Pinehurst, Doral, Arizona, Las Vegas, but I can tell already that this one is going to be different. Way different. Slippers. Last man on earth to wear slippers and pajamas. Oh, this is great. I'm a new man.
Dan's been at the wheel since we left Chicago. He's a safe and cautious character. I trust him as a driver. After that, I trust me. After that, I trust a tired Dan, and after that, I trust a tired me. Then, after that, I trust Vic.
Tight as a drum.
Yeah, I can't get in, Dan.
Thought I locked the door. I guess I didn't.
No, you locked the door, but
If
you left the window
window's
open.
open.
Nice. I think.
Did you know which way to turn this?
Yeah. Unlock.
Oh. How come you didn't unlock
You know,
it?
is there a car?
Hey,
There's no-
hey.
I wonder if I can get some.
Don't be a
Oh.
I haven't been this nervous since I was 15 and took my driver's test.
Did you pass it?
No.
Never do the first one.
Yeah, take it a couple times around the lot. You'll get a feel for it.
Oh, man. Could you go smoother?
What?
Would you go smoother?
Do I know smoother?
Would you go
Oh,
smoother?
go smoother? Yeah. As soon as I learn to do it.
Jesus, Jim, slow down.
Everywhere
You're going
I
too
go,
fast.
I'm going the wrong
You're
way.
going awful fast in the parking lot.
I think I'm ready for the road, guys.
Yeah, everything's falling on my head.
Put that
I
sign
want
down.
Dan. I want Dan. Yeah, do that. Let's see how you look.
The wrinkles. That do it?
Yeah, it does a little bit. You took your chin up. That's good. You put staples in it. I got a better idea. Let's use the masking tape.
I'm horrified.
Don't kiss me. Jesus. Yeah, you're too close.
There, now let's see. Jesus, that works.
I'm not going to get back there with you two. You're getting weird.
No, you gotta get a different haircut. But it looks pretty good when you fluff it up.
It's a very spooky trip we're on, gentlemen.
He's not going anywhere. He's as solid as a rock. 10 pounds, broad-based at the bottom. He's not moving. This thing would have to tip for him to fall down. Which is not true about the way he lived his life. he fell down more than he stayed up. Dan, put Mike on the dashboard. Yeah, give him a view. Ah, he fits perfectly.
He claimed to be a Sox fan of some sort.
He was. Absolutely.
He'd probably be one of these types,
Yeah.
you know.
It's weird.
What's funny is that it would be impossible to make this trip with Mike if he was still alive. He didn't use his insulin like he was supposed to. He was always going into shock, and he was getting more reckless toward the end of his life, and it just made him harder to be around. But you know what's ironic? Having Mike with us, the dead guy in the box, seems to be teaching us something about what it means to be alive.
I'm going straight. Oh!
Ah, he's not hurt. Whoa. That was a curb. Watch your...
Yeah. If your clients in Paris can see you now.
This is great. This is like, Cannes, because they have rocky beaches. And this is exactly like the south of France. I think it even smells like the south of France.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Good.
I knew he brought Mike for a reason.
I'm telling you, he'd be first one in if he were still alive.
This is living.
Thank you.
Guaranteed to stop your heart.
Coming up this season on Our Longest Drive.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
You're going too fast.
We're in heaven with Mike.
Katanga. Katanga?
I don't like the seat I'm in at all.
Where's Mike?
Oh,
Somebody forgot Mike.
Mike strikes again.
When we started this trip, the question was whether or not we make it. The question is now whether Mike makes it.
nice shot. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
On the edge of the earth.
You're right on the precipice.
Yeah, we're all on the precipice of a lot of stuff.
And the fact is, I don't give a damn about getting us back safely.
Dick, geez, keep it on the road. Hold on.
Hey, where's the road? Well, we're not dead yet.
Well, some of us are.